Hello, welcome back. Brad, if it's your first time watching, I'm laughing because I've already filmed this. I was speaking for about 10-15 minutes, went to watch it back to see if I sounded all right, and I forgot to press record. So, and if it is your first time here, just know that this is a regular occurrence. I wanted these videos to be therapeutic, calm, relaxing. They're the complete opposite and they're always chaotic. I don't know how they end up being that way, but what will be will be. Anyway, I've turned the camera on because it's 1:45 in the morning here, so everyone's in bed asleep. And I just really needed to tell someone that I've finally finished piecing it. I'm so happy. I'm absolutely chuffed. So I've been at it all yesterday and all morning up until this point. So since I last saw you, I've added the mustard border, the mirror border, the pinwheels, and then the outer floral border, which I like the pinwheels because it's like one of them pictures, do you know when you, those pictures where you look and then one person sees a rabbit and then one person sees like a dog in the same picture. But I like the pinwheel border because if you look at it in one way, it looks like pinwheels. And then if you look at it again, it looks like the broken dishes block. So I really quite like that. Like I'm looking at it now and I can see broken dish block. Anyway, I can finally start quilting it. And in terms of quilting, I've been playing around with different ideas and stuff. And to be honest, I really don't know how to do it. I never really enjoy the quilting part. I think I've told you that before. Just because I find it so difficult and it really hurts me. And getting a quilt this size, I think it finishes at 103 inches square. But I think this is a couple of inches shorter because I've had to change some of the border sizes to make things fit and stuff. It's going to absolutely kill me getting it through, but it's my own fault and I'll have to suffer the consequences. There's so many things that I can't stand about it. Like so many things I can't stand. And it's mainly because of the sizes. Like I've had to kind of fight some of the borders on. I've noticed a couple of the blocks aren't right, like one of the stars. Someone pointed it out in the video and I apologise, I forgot who mentioned it. And it's all I can see now, like one of the star blocks isn't actually a star anymore. How have I not noticed that? Because I've spent the last, 5 weeks staring at it. But I've got to the point where I care. I do care. But it's just part of the quilt, I suppose. And there's loads of comments saying like the Amish used to purposely put mistakes in the quilt. So I'm going to kind of steal that motto and say it was intentional. So if you go to the Festival of Quilts and you see it, just know that every fault you see, I know it's there. I'm being nice about it. I could swear, I could scream, and on borderline breakdown. I don't know why I'm laughing. So, me and Mom spent hours and hours basting the quilt, and we did it on the patio outside because it was the only space that was big enough for the whole quilt so it could lie flat. And if I'm honest, I normally spray base just because I find it easier, especially with my hand and stuff. It's just an easier way forward. And then I pin every now and again along the way, just for extra security. Well, Muggins here didn't know that spray-based loses the adhesive in temperatures above something like 26, 27 degrees. Something like that, I could be wrong. Well, the UK has just recorded its hottest ever temperature, so it reached something like 38, 39 degrees. Meaning, when I come to quilt the quilt, none of the layers were stuck together. So I dealt with that. That was absolutely fine. And at this point, I hadn't actually stuck the star on, I hadn't sewn the star on. So I started hand sewing the star on to realise that I'd pricked myself with the needle and there was blood all over the quilt. You couldn't make it up. So what does that mean? We've had to wash it, which I did not want to do. And it's come out the washer and we've dried it. We dried it as best as we possibly could, dried it flat and whatnot. And then we put it in the dryer just for the last bit because it was still soaking wet and taking ages. And typical English weather, it's back to how it used to be. It started raining. So we had to put it in the dryer. Which means now it's not lying flat, it's slightly stretched. And I'm having to do whatever I can and whatever it takes to get the quilt to lie flat again. I'm so angry. I feel awful. My arms are giving me jip again. My legs are giving me jip. And normally I can cope with it. I can cope with it so much normally. But today I'm just so angry about it. I just want to be normal. I want to be a normal human being that just gets up and just skips me way through life. I know it's not that simple and I apologise for that because I know it's not that easy for anyone. I'm just fed up. This might sound really like witchcrafty or whatever, but I just feel like something's against me. I just feel like the greater being has just thrown so many curveballs my way for this quilt that someone's just saying you shouldn't enter it. Like, just everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and then some. I don't know what to suggest anymore. But I just thought I'd come on and tell you that. But this is the first time you're seeing the whole entire quilt, so I hope you like it. I hope you think it looks nice, and I hope you think it was worth the waste. I, for one, am very unsure at this precise moment. I'm never using spray-based ever again. Never, never, never. So I've bought some Quilted Bear curve safety pins. I've bought 300 of them. So I'm hoping I can manage these with my hands. I was watching a video the other day and I think it was Just Get It Done Quilts. Is it Karen? Sure it's Karen. And she had like a tool. Well, she used a spoon first of all, and then she had a tool a friend recommended to her. So I might have a look at the tool and see if I can get it delivered tomorrow. If I can't, I'll try and use a spoon. It's just to like fasten the clips easier. Obviously, Mum would help me, and she keeps offering to help me. But since being ill, like, I'm so independent. Like, I want to do things. Like, I want to do it. If I can't do it, there's no point. And the truth is, I do need help. I need help with every aspect of life these days, and that in itself is infuriating. But I didn't want to cry this video. I thought, can I have one video where I don't get tearful? Never bloody happens, does it? Anyway, I'm going to spend the next few hours basting this quilt, trying to get it to lay flat. I've brought my blockers down, not my blockers, the clappers down, so I can try and edge it out and stuff. I'm going to work from the middle and work my way out and try and push it out the best I can, because it laid perfectly flat before, so it's so annoying that I've done that to myself. I've just screwed myself over. But yeah, I'm going to come back to you when it's all basted, and hopefully I've got a big smile on my face.
Find me in the open. All the good and broken. Nothing left unspoken. I am here. I'm standing here. See me in my wholeness. Healing is the closest. 'Cause this is where my hope is. Oh, I am here. Yeah, I'm standing here. Find me in the open.
So I'm sat here contemplating life. I'm just so fed up with this quilt. I'm just dreaming of new projects. I'm sat here watching Canal Boat Diaries, thinking I'd do anything in my power to be on one of them canal boats now, drifting down the Thames or somewhere beautiful. Oh, be lovely. Anyway, as you probably noticed, I'm back in my bedroom. I'm just really struggling lately, and I feel like when I'm in my bedroom, I can just quickly jump back into bed and elevate my legs, and I can obviously do a bit of what I need to do, quilting, in bed with my Janome. Which got me thinking, I really need to sort this bedroom out, because it's just not fit for purpose, really. I want to get like a new desk, because I'm sick of this car boot table taking up all my bedroom space. And it just looks a mess in here, doesn't it? It just looks such a mess. And I'm really, really not happy with it. But anyway, back onto the quilt. So, as you know, as I mentioned, I wanted to, and to be honest, it was always the plan to hand quilt the centre panel ever since I designed it, and I was picturing it in my head. It was always going to be hand quilted. I hand quilted just a small square section yesterday, which, like, can you see that? Like one of these small square areas around the star. And it just did absolutely nothing for the quilt. I feel like the quilt's quite like straight cut and what am I trying to say? Like straight cut and very, yeah, you know what I mean, don't you? I'm tending to be you know what I mean. And the hand quilting, just because of the softness of it and the texture it was creating, it kind of didn't do anything for the star centre. So I unpicked all that. But I've still gone with the crosshatch. And originally I was going to do the crosshatch like on a vertical, but I've changed the crosshatch to a 45-degree angle. So it kind of takes and picks up the 45-degree diamond points within the star, and I really like the look of it so far, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. I am pretty happy with it. So I've got to do that today. One thing I'm really unhappy with, I'm so upset with myself. I lay in bed the other day and I thought, what a great idea. I thought originally the plan was to hand applique the star onto the big block, the big panel, and I thought, no, because again, I redid it, unpicked it, redid it, unpicked it several times. Again, I've got such a bad habit of doing that. Like, I am so terrible at doing that, and I end up making more of a mess, and it just ends up looking ridiculous. And because of that, some of the threads have been pulled within the fabric and stuff, which has really, really annoyed me. Anyway, back onto my great idea. I thought I've got some monofilament thread. And to be honest, because of the different colours within the star, I'm rambling, I'm so sorry, I will get to the point. Because of the different colours within the star, no matter what thread I was using and no matter what weight I was using, you could see the thread on certain elements of the star, and I just hated it. So I've got some monofilament thread, and I thought, if I sew on my machine 1/8 of an inch all the way round, the edges of the star will become frayed, And that would give the look of unperfect, falling apart, which kind of fits my story, I thought, perfectly. I'm falling apart and I'm such a mess. But since the diagnosis, it kind of relates back to that. And obviously the quilt's called Reflection from Within. So I wanted it to be a really, really strong take on my life. I've done that and I absolutely hate it. But there is absolutely no way I am unpicking that now. I just don't want to. I don't want to get there and be embarrassed. That would be just completely heartbreaking to me. And I think if I went there and I was embarrassed, I would just come straight home. I wouldn't stay because I'd be absolutely mortified. I've rambled so much in that, so I apologise. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come back to you after the centre's all quilted and you can see what it looks like, and I can imagine the kind of things you'll tell me and the critique you'll give me. Mwah. See you in a sec.
Newly awake, tired and lazy, the cute sounds you make while sipping your coffee. I know there's a world outside, but right now it's you and me. Just you and me, baby. Roll out of bed, I love when you're hazy. Rewatching Friends for the millionth time. Well, I know there's a world outside, but right now it's you and me. Just you and me, baby.
So I've finished the centre now. I was meant to show you, but I've just kind of got carried away and started with the first border edge in that centre panel. And I've just come on because I don't know how much more I can do. I just feel absolutely exhausted. I'm not really liking how it's looking. I don't know what it is, like, I seem to say the same thing all the time, but we have these ideas in our head about what it'll look like and how it'll turn out. And in my case, it never ever ends up how I pictured it in my head. Like I seem to go from happy to sad to angry to breakdown to laughing again. And it's just, I think maybe I'm taking it all a bit too seriously. Like when I entered, I was like, yes, I'm going to enter it. Yes, I want to win. And I think, as stupid as it might sound, the reason I want to enter is because I want to feel worthy. I want to feel like justified in what I'm doing. And even saying that out loud sounds ridiculous. I don't need anyone to tell me I'm good enough, because it wouldn't make a difference to me anyway. That's just something I've got to work out. I've always been the same. Like, I've always been in my own head and I've been a worrier. And part of me feels like I do need to enter it because I do need that validation that I am okay. This is what I should be doing. It's just hard, isn't it? And this would be hard, no matter what, and I do believe that. But look, when my arms don't work, it's just making everything 10 times worse. I never really have a plan. I just kind of go with the flow, wing it and plod on. And in terms of the competition, I know I said I want to win and I wanted to win and stuff, and the more and more it's gone on, like I've got to the point where it doesn't actually matter to me. Although I want validation, although I want to feel worthy. If I did win, absolutely incredible. It's never going to happen, but if I did, that would be amazing. But I'm not really entering it now for that. Like, it's all to do with my own self-worth, I suppose. And I'm not a competitive person. Like, I've never been competitive. I'm not a jealous person. I've never been jealous. Like, if someone else won or if someone else does better than me in life, I'm there cheering from the sidelines. I think it's wonderful. Like, I ain't like that. I'm just rambling on again now, ain't I? I just do not know what to do. Really is taking it out of me. I just want to be normal.
It's your faith that made those mountains move. It's your faith that brought me to the truth. It's the way you called heaven down when you prayed for where I am now. It's your faith. It's your faith that made those mountains move. Move, how you made those mountains move. Yeah, yeah. For all of the pain you faced, trials you overcame, every road that you paved.
So, I've finally finished quilting it. So bloody happy. I can move on with the rest of my life. And move on to beautiful new projects. No, but the end is in sight. I think it's took me around about a month to get it all quilted, and as you've seen, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, up, down, left, right, and every which way going. So with the outcome of it, I'm half and half. Half of me hates it, half of me quite likes it. Different days make me feel different things about the quilt. But I can't keep like stressing about what it could have been. It is what it is. And I'm just proud of myself for continuing and plodding on and getting it done. Because genuinely, a couple of weeks ago, I just thought, do you know what, I don't need this in my life. Don't want it, don't need it. But now it's done. I really want it. I really need it. And I'm really excited about the festival. So, I'm now working on the hanging sleeve, which has been giving me sleepless nights, which I know that sounds ridiculous, but I've never done it before, and I would have liked to have done it before this. But a quick flick on YouTube, we trusty YouTube, Jeanette from the Sewing Studio had a really great video, and she's made it really straightforward. So thank you, Jeanette. So what I wanted to talk to you about was how you finish the binding. What I used to do and what I normally do, because on a smaller project, is, say for instance my binding is usually 2.5, I overlap the end part of the binding by 2.5, cut it on the diagonal, and it creates like a perfect finish, so you can't actually see where you start and finish the binding. And I really do like that method, and I find it quite straightforward. What I have noticed is, if you've got like a decent sized quilt, like for instance this is like 102 or 103 inches square, like it's huge, and the last quilt I did was a decent size as well, and you end up wrestling with the quilt and it just becomes so much hard work, and my pet hate is wrestling with anything. I just want things to be nice and simple, nice and easy, and something that doesn't create and cause much pain for myself. So I was watching loads of videos, as I do, and a different technique that I saw, and I've never tried this technique before, was create like a pocket at the start. So you'll fold over the start bit by 1/4 inch, leave like a pocket, and at the end you put the tail of the end of the binding in this pocket and then go over it that way. And it seems like a really straightforward, simple way of doing it. So I think for the size of this quilt, I might try that technique. Carry on, Bradders. Do you know what? I can't multitask. I was on my live the other day and was talking about, well, I said to him, I definitely think women are better at multitasking, because there was a thing on the news saying women can multitask, men can't. And I really, really do think it's true, unless it's just a me thing. It's like rubbing your belly and patting your head into it. Like I can't do that either. I'm just terrible. Like I can't talk and do something at the same time, but I'm going to try now. So yeah, what I thought I'd do is that, and I'll come back to you when I'm doing that, so you can kind of tell me if I'm doing it wrong, and also tell me your kind of methods of doing it, because I always like to learn new techniques, because there's so many different ways of doing things in quilting, isn't there? So many different ways, and to be honest, I want to learn all of the different ways, and that way then I can kind of figure out what my favourite is. I was talking to Wendy the other day, and if you don't know who Wendy is, sorry, my mouth's really dry again, I'm so sorry. Wendy goes by the name The Scottish Quilter, and she's got her own Instagram, and she's got her own YouTube channel too, and such a beautiful YouTube channel. She's so talented, and it's just a really, really nice channel. So go and check her out, because I really do think you'll love her. Anyway, we've been chatting for a few weeks, and we've become quite close, I suppose. We've become friends. And she was talking, and she said, why don't you put, she said, why don't you put a penny in your binding, like sew a penny into your binding, it might bring you some luck. And I thought, what a beautiful idea, like that is right up my street. So I'm going to find a penny and sew it into the binding, and hopefully it brings the luck I need for the show. I just thought it was a lovely idea, and I think like past the show and past this quilt, like going forward, I think I might do that all the time from now on, because I've probably mentioned it before, like I'm massively into crystals, and that kind of feels like the same kind of vibe. So when I start making things for my shop again, it's definitely something I'm going to do, or even like sew a little crystal into it. So if you're one of the people that decide to buy a quilt off me in the future, you'll have a lucky crystal or lucky penny into it, and I hope it brings you all the luck in the world too. I just thought it was beautiful. So yeah, Wendy the Scottish Quilter, go and check her out, because I think you'll love her. And I'm going to try this new technique. Oh. To be honest, the one thing I will say, I don't think the quilt is perfectly square, which I don't know why, because I measure after every single round, and I'm terrified of seeing it hanging there. Because if it's wonky, then I'd be absolutely bloody mortified. What I'm going to have to do is put like a pole through the wall hanging. Not the wall hanging, what's it called? The hanging sleeve, sorry. Get Mum and Scott to hold either side, stand on a bench while I look, and hopefully I can see if it's like squarish. I really hope it is. Anyway, let's go on with this first, and I can stress about that later. So apparently you get to the end of where you sewed from, back stitch, cut that, and then, okay, couple of inches, is that right? Half it, that's it. couple of inches, but I started there, so let's cut that. And apparently you cut it on a diagonal. So let's go, should we do that? Slot it in. Well, that's too big. Thing is, I'll probably go too bloody short, will I? Slot it in. I think it's still too big. I'm scared to go too short. If I do it, if I make it there, let's put it there. Oh. Now, is that okay? I think so. I think it's as simple as that. Pop a couple of pins in that. If I like the way this looks, this is so much easier than like joining on the diagonal. So I really hope I do like how it looks. Let's take these pins away. I bought this thing, it's like a bowhin. Tweezers, I suppose, and I use it for grabbing the bobbin thread if it's too short, or bobbin thread full stop, to be honest. I use it for getting pins. So if you do struggle with your hands or anything and you're not very good like me, bowin, little tweezers, well, I suppose you could use any tweezers, couldn't you? They haven't got to be these ones. And then they're like magnetic too, so you can just get the pins and they like stick onto it. Perfect. Absolutely swear by these. This is my #1 tool. I would not be without it. And it's also great for like grabbing small pieces and like pushing it through the machine. Brilliant. Anyway, back onto this. Come on, brothers. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my God. Where's the join? That's not too bad, is it? So if I could, when I hand sew it down, I could probably put a couple of stitches in that, couldn't I? That little flap there, to sew that down. Do you know what? I'm going to safely say I really like that method. Piece of piddle, as I would say. Right then. I feel like I've officially finished now. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I'm going to have so much time on my hands. Like even the thought of finishing this quilt almost terrifies me. Because I don't know what I'm doing next and it's the only thing I've thought about for so long. I feel a bit, I don't really know how, does that make sense? Like I have just been consumed by this quilt for so long. Was it, when did I start this? Was it end of May? So it's like a good two and a half months maybe. I've just been obsessed with this quilt. So I'll draw it to a close this week. And if you are going to the festival, I really hope our paths cross. I really hope you like the quilt. And if you're not going to the festival, I really hope you like the quilt as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm so excited for it, but I'm also like really, really nervous. And I think part of the excitement is being over like shadowed and clouded by how nervous I am about seeing this quilt hung up. Because I won't really get the full kind of effect of the quilt until it's like hanging up at the show. And as I mentioned earlier, I just don't want to be embarrassed by it because I genuinely would just zoom off in my chair and never be seen again. You'd find me rocking in a dark cave. But yeah, if our paths do cross at the festival, come and say hello. I'd love to meet some of you. And if our paths don't cross, have the best time if you are going. I love you so much. Thank you for all your support, all your comments. I will quickly touch on this again. My hands are getting worse. This hand, even to type now, this is so painful. So if I don't get around to commenting and replying to your comments, I'm so sorry. But I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. And I really do love reading them. I'm really sorry that I can't reply anymore much. But I'm going to try and figure out a way I can get around that. I've been looking at different machines and stuff you can get and different adaptions you can get. So hopefully one day soon I can get back to it. But yeah, enough of me talking. Hopefully I'll do a big quilt reveal at the end of this. And I'll see you really soon. Thank you so much. Love ya.
Find me in the